Here are two unseen poetry essays at GCSE standard. The first one is analysing Autumn by Alan Bold. The second compares Autumn with Today by Billy Collins. The essays achieved maximum marks. This is Autumn by Alan Bold. Feel free to pause here and explore the poem. The first essay consists of 4 paragraphs. The question was, in autumn, how does the poet present the effects of the season of autumn? The poet, Alan Bold, presents autumn as mischievous, cunningly angering the placid sky until it glows with quiet rage. The simile, autumn arrives like an experienced robber, indicates that Bold perceives autumn as sly, perhaps as a disturbance to the peace of summer and winter that neighbour it. Usually, the effect of a robbery is devastating, resulting in loss and anger, whereas when this metaphor is placed onto autumn, we see that surprisingly, those effects transfer to the natural world. Bold contrasts words with a criminal semantic field such as robber, accomplice, and cunningly, to the obvious beauty of autumn such as colourful, and the phrase deep multitude. Juxtaposing these images implies a sense of conflict and chaos. The contrast serves to highlight the way most people perceive autumn and how the poet perceives autumn. This difference is emphasised when autumn changes the sky from a placid, good-natured one to red with a quiet rage. The oxymoron quiet rage could hint at the chaos that autumn brings with it to the surrounding environment. The colour red is also an interesting choice, as red often signifies danger or fear, which could indicate that the poet thinks of autumn as something to fear. To reinforce this fear, the poet creates the idea that it is quick-moving through the use of the adverb suddenly. The poem is written in a single stanza, as if there is no time to pause, which could mirror the brief way in which autumn occurs, or the short amount of time it stands for. In this sense, like a robber, autumn is depicted as fleeting and not content, which again adds to the negative portrayal of the season. The poet also personifies the wind, describing it as his accomplice and wreaking havoc to the temper of the earth. This personification gives a natural force a human characteristic, which only strengthens its power in the eyes of the reader. This forceful, powerful, controlling wind shows autumn to be even more terror-instilling, because something powerful is merely its accomplice. Similarly, the fact that the poet states how autumn affects the sky again displays its power and its effects. The ripples that explode as a result of its force even can change the sky. The ability to alter the sky suggests that autumn is somewhat godlike, or is similar in its state of power. Moreover, unlike a god, autumn is displayed to use its power unwisely, to cause chaos, not to resolve it. This is Today by Billy Collins. You can pause here if you'd like to read or analyse the poem. The second essay consists of 3 paragraphs. The question was, in both Today and Autumn, the speakers describe attitudes towards the seasons. What are the similarities and or differences between the ways the poets present these attitudes? In Today and Autumn, Bold and Collins present opposing views of their respective seasons. For instance, in Autumn, the wind is described as an accomplice, as if it was guilty for committing wrongdoings or was offensive to laws or people. In Today, the wind is described as a warm, intermittent breeze. The phrase breeze gives the impression of a calm, relaxing, tranquil environment, which directly contrasts with the chaos of autumn. Also indicating a difference in atmosphere and tempo is the structure. For instance, autumn is written in one continuous stanza with little punctuation. indicating that autumn is fast-paced, difficult to control, and chaotic in its nature. Whereas in today, the structure is 9 couplets, with pauses in between and varied punctuation. This, when read, creates a more relaxed feel and indicates that the poet's attitude towards spring is far more positive. Similarly, the effect on people is obviously very different within each poem. In autumn, the people are inquisitive strangers looking on the chaos with disbelief and compassion, whereas in today, they are holding hands and rejoicing the day. The verb inquisitive has connotations of confusion, fear and intent, which could demonstrate how the speaker feels about autumn, that it is interesting and beautiful, but also deep and mysterious. Contrastingly, in today, the sensory description of sunlight forces the reader to think how the speaker does, as if spring is beautiful, perfect and constant, unlike autumn. If you found this helpful, you may wish to check out some of the links in the description for some other supportive resources.